Hi, my friends. Welcome to this episode of the Magical Musical Tour. It's good to be with you. Today, we're going to be talking about the circle of fifths and the circle of fourths. This is a level 1 theory program, so if you're intermediate or advanced, you may not find this program helpful, although you're very welcome to hang out with us. So, before we enter into the discussion of the circle of fifths and the circle of fourths, there's a couple of things that I want you to know in case you don't. We're going to be talking a lot about keys in music. And in music, a key is a group of 7 notes. Okay. There are 15 keys in music. There are 8 sharp keys, there are 7 flat keys, and that just simply means that 8 of the keys, 8 of all these groups of 7 have some sharp notes in them, which make them sharp keys, and some of them have flat notes in them, which make them flat keys. Now, as I said already, every key has 7 notes in it, and the name of every key is also the first note in every key. So when we're playing in the key of C, the first note is C. And so each of these keys, as I said, with these 7 notes, when you start on C, they are going to stay in alphabetical order. And remember that in music, the musical alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We don't go on to H, I, J, K, and so on. There's only those 7 natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Sometimes in music, we kind of put them with C first, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But the 7 natural notes in music are simply the first 7 letters in the alphabet. So when we're doing the key of C, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B. When we're doing the key of G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Don't worry about how that sharp got in there and so on. We will be talking about that on another lesson. But what I do want you to understand now is that when we are doing the circle of fifths, the reason it's called the circle of fifths is because, as I said, every key has 7 notes. When we get to the 5th note of whatever key we're in, that 5th note becomes the name of the next key. All right. So this is actually quite simple. One thing you do need to know is that the first key in the circle of fifths, the sharp keys, is the key of C. And the first key in the circle of fourths, the flat keys, is the key of F. So we have C and F, which is like cake and frosting. Okay. C, F, cake and frosting. All right. So in the circle of fifths, the first key is C. So we simply start on C. So we'll say this, my thumb is home base. So we're going to start with C and we're going to stay in the order of the alphabet until we get to the 5th note. And that 5th note is going to become the name of the next key. So here we go. C, D, E, F, G. We bring G up. G is the second key. Now we stay in the order of the alphabet, starting with G. G, A, B, C, D. Bring it up. D, E, F, G, A. Bring it up. A, B, C, D, E. Bring it up. E, F, G, A, B. Okay, B is the 6th key. We bring it up. Now, I want you to know that the next 2 keys, the only thing we have to remember is that we have to call them a sharp key. So all we're going to do is this: B, C, D, E, F sharp. Okay, F sharp. We're going to bring that up. F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. Okay, so those are the 8 keys. We actually just did C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp. Also, sometimes students get confused as to whether it ends with F sharp or C sharp, but just remember that we started on C and we ended on C sharp. Okay. So that is the order of the circle of fifths. So all I want you to do with this lesson with regards to the circle of fifths is just learn the order. We'll talk later about filling in all the notes and where the sharps are and so on. But right now I just want you to learn the order of them. All right, so that takes us to the flat keys. As I said before, there are 7 flat keys, and the first one is F, right? Frosting. Now, the way that the circle of fourths is different than the circle of fifths is that it's the fourth note that is the name of the next key. Okay, not the fifth note. It's the fourth note that's the name of the next key. All right, so if we start on F, you'll see how this works. Same thing, stay in order of the alphabet. Oh, one other thing, by the way, when we get to that fourth note in the circle of fourths, every one of them is a flat note. Okay, so we're going to, whatever the letter of the alphabet is, we're going to say the letter of the alphabet plus the flat. Okay, so you'll see what I mean by that. So we have F, G, A, B flat. And then we bring that B flat up here and we say B flat, C, D, E flat. We bring that E flat up here, E, F, G, A flat. We bring that A up here, A, B, C, D flat. Bring it back to the top, D, E, F, G flat. Bring it up to the top, G, A, B, C flat. Bring it up to the top. Now, theoretically, there is a key of F flat, so that would be C, D, E, F flat. Okay. We don't typically ever see that, but theoretically, there is an F flat. Now, the cool thing about the circle of fourths that actually makes it quite easy is once we start on F, the next 4 keys in the circle of fourths spell the word bead, B-E-A-D. And then we finish with G flat and C flat. So just like the circle of fifths ended with C sharp, the circle of fourths ends with C flat. So we have F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat. There's bead. And then G flat and C flat. All right. So just quickly to review again, remember in the circle of fifths, we're going to the fifth note of the key and bringing it up. In the circle of fourths, we're going to the fourth note of the key and bringing it up. So all of our keys are circle of fifths, C, G, D, A, E, B, F sharp, C sharp. Circle of fourths, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. All right. So you take some time, memorize the circle of fifths, memorize the circle of fourths. And when we meet again, we will start putting all the notes in the keys and where the sharps and the flats belong and learning about chromatic and natural scales, all kinds of things on this tour we're taking. So once again, please like and subscribe. Thank you for meeting with me, and I will see you again, my friends. Peace.